Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Mike. This is my first posting of my Bible reading. I am reading The Message, and it is a very contemporary uh, translation of the Bible, written by someone who was a real scholar and a real pastor. So he takes that pastor's experience with him as he translates the Bible. I've been having a little difficulty thinking now, how am I going to sum up each day's reading? Day one, I read 30 chapters of Genesis. And originally I started kind of going through the things that I had read, but that made this little video pretty long. So I'm just going to speak a little bit more generally. Man, so good to read Eugene Peterson's translation. It just kind of brings it all home in a homey kind of style. I mean, the stories of creation, the stories of the Tower of Babel, the story of the shattering story, really, where Abraham is asked to take his son, his only son, the son that he loves, to take him up and sacrifice him on Mount Moriah, which later we are told is, or tradition tells us, same mountain that Jesus was crucified on, meaning the Mount of Jerusalem itself. Oh my goodness, yeah. And Esau being tricked out of his birthright, and then tricked out of his blessing. He was the firstborn of the twins, and so he should have had his father's inheritance and his father's blessing, but Jacob and his mom tricked him out of that. And so where I kind of left off my reading, Esau is furious, and he even wants to kill his brother. So we'll see how that works out. So I don't want to just read Old Testament alone. So I'm starting at 3 points. I decided rather than starting at the Psalms, I'm going to start at Job, the first of what's called the wisdom literature. So I'll get some of that type of writing, that emotional kind of writing, highs, lows, everything in between. And then I also started reading at Matthew. So I'll also have the New Testament in each day that I read as well. Yeah, Job. Ooh, wow. I don't know how people think about this story of Job, if they feel they must believe that Job was an actual person, because if that's true, then you have God kind of willy-nilly allowing his entire family, all his holdings of livestock and all, to be wiped out, killed. And if that really is, in our world actually happened, that makes all kinds of troubles. Who is this God that we have? Why so callous? And now I'm going back, but in Genesis, I believe it was chapter 12. No. Anyway, The Babel story. Or no, the Ark story. That's earlier than 12, I think. My goodness. If we think of this as history, as a report of what actually happened, we're dealing with a God that can, in a moment of anger, just decide I'm going to kill the entire human race except for these folks that get in the boat. So the way that I understand it, the way I've been taught to understand it, is the writer of Genesis, or the team of writers that wrote Genesis, were taking a Babylonian story, which was violent in the extreme. It was a myth. And then the Israelite storyteller takes that existing violent story and actually softens it up, or gives another portrait of God, instead of one who you're always wondering, will they destroy us? The biblical writer, the Genesis writer, writes that the rainbow, when God sees the rainbow, you're never going to do that again. So it's actually, in the end, it's saying our God is a God of compassion. But that first part, I can't let go of that. That God would kill the entire population of the world, and then later say, kind of, I wish I hadn't done that. So I'll have to put up a sticky note to remind myself not to do that again. I'm talking about the rainbow. Yeah. And jumping forward, I started off in Matthew, and the genealogies are there. They, so-and-so begot so-and-so begot so-and-so, and then finally it gets down to Jesus. There's some interesting things in there, like the inclusion of a prostitute in Jesus's lineage, dating back to the time when the Israelites were coming into the Holy Land, and a prostitute Rahab was the spy. But we also had the story of the wise men in the opening chapters, and how Herod feared any other king who would come onto the scene. Yeah. So that's where I did my first day's reading, and I'll update you when I read some more. So thank you. Bye-bye. God bless.